Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Spiritually Aligned, a podcast that's designed to support and guide women who are on their journey of awakening. Over the next several months and maybe up to a year, I'm actually dedicating my time and energy to supporting and guiding the divine feminines who are on the twin flame journey. Together, we're going to dive into various aspects of this journey so we can begin to peel back the layers and rediscover who you are, along with aligning to your inner knowing. And by doing so, you're going to be able to really cultivate and create a beautiful journey for yourself that's filled with peace and grace and understanding. But also, too, you'll be able to extend that to your beloved as well and really creating this beautiful journey between the two of you. And this week, I invite you to join me in this week's episode, especially if you are the divine feminine and you are feeling that you want to walk away from your twin flame connection. You want to walk away because you're frustrated, you're angry, and perhaps you're resentful towards your divine masculine for what it is that he's doing in the 3D reality. And if that's you, then join me. Grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, and you might want to grab a notebook for this one to take some notes. But before we get into this week's episode, I want to introduce myself. My name is Melissa. I am your host. I am a spiritual guide, an energy healer. I transform energy, and I'm the divine feminine in my twin flame connection. For those of you that are into human design, I'm a 3/5 emotional projector. And why I share that with you is because I'm simply here as a guide. I guide others and teach others through the experiences that I've had, not only in life, not only in my spiritual awakening, but also to my twin flame journey. Because I want to share with you what has worked for me and what hasn't worked for me, so you can take what resonates with you and start applying it to your journey and really cultivating and creating this beautiful journey. And I truly believe that I'm here to do that for you, so you don't have to waste your valuable time, your valuable energy figuring out what works and what doesn't work, because I've already done that for you, and that's part of my soul's purpose. And so if you're a divine feminine on the twin flame journey and you're really struggling, you're feeling lost, confused, overwhelmed, or perhaps you're new to the journey, then I invite you to subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on my other platforms like Instagram and TikTok, where I share more about my daily life and the things that I've done to help create inner union within myself, because my desire right now is to help navigate as many divine feminines to this inner state of union so you can cultivate and create the life that you are here for. And so if that's you, then join me in this week's episode. But before we start diving into, wanting to walk away from your twin flame journey, I first and foremost want you to know that I understand that we all have free will, right? Like, you have free will to do whatever it is that you decide what's best for you. But I want to share with you my experience and what it is that I have learned when I have practiced my free will. And at times, it is really essential to practice our free will. And other times, it's best to stay in alignment with our destiny, that path that is leading us to our ultimate happiness and that fulfilled life that we came here to live. And I always tell myself, I didn't come this far to only come this far, and neither have you. So whenever I have practiced my free will, it was because my ego was hurt, it was fearful, and it really wanted to control things. And my ego was really more worried and focused about what others would say and what was happening in the 3D reality. And the more that I stayed connected to my ego, the more that I wanted to practice my free will. But what I learned is what is always meant for me is always going to be for me. And if I choose to practice my free will, which I have done many times in life, including on my twin flame journey. But on my twin flame journey and other areas of my life when I did this, because we have such a loving and kind and compassionate God and universe, they gently nudged me back onto my path and got me back in alignment with my destiny of what it is that I'm here to experience with life. And let me tell you, practicing my free will wasn't that great. It was very painful at times. I struggled a lot and I felt really empty inside. And it wasn't until I got back on my path that I really started seeing the fulfillment that my twin flame journey brought me, what life was willing to bring me. And here's the other thing. If you are the chaser in your dynamic, which I would consider myself as a former chaser in my dynamic, is that the more that I chased, and trust me when I say this, I chased hard, the more that my divine masculine practiced his free will. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking, well, my divine masculine's over there practicing his free will. Well, it might be an opportunity for you to reflect upon what it is that you are doing as well. And the other thing that I want to share with you is we have to remember that our beloved, our divine masculine, is us in another body. We have the same energetic blueprint. We have the same experiences that we've had in life. We just experience them from opposite perspectives. And the more that I was willing to allow my divine masculine to guide me to all these parts of me that I couldn't see or didn't want to see, the more that I was able to see these things and accept these parts of me so I could bring healing to these various parts of me and really begin to transform my internal reality, which then extends out, as you all know, into your 3D reality. And we really truly start to embrace that your beloved is you in another body. You start to open up and really cultivate this really beautiful journey together. Because your divine masculine is not doing things in the 3D reality to intentionally hurt you. He's doing these things based on your subconscious programming. Your subconscious programming, remember, is projecting things out into your 3D reality, and you're attracting things into your 3D reality based on those subconscious beliefs. And we have to remember that our subconscious programming runs 95% of our day. On 95% of what we do is automatic, and it's coming from that part. So he's just playing a role in your movie. And he's playing a role that you have asked him to play. So you can see these parts of you and you can heal and transform. And I know sometimes seeing these parts of you isn't always great. But a lot of us tend to get fixated on what they're not doing and what they're doing from the negative standpoint. And we miss out on the beautiful aspects that they're trying to show us about ourselves as well. So it's this dance as we journey together with them of being able to see what we would call the good and the bad parts of ourselves and learning to integrate these into our journey. So with that being said, I want to start talking about walking away from this journey. And I'm not here to convince you not to, because like I said, you have free will. But I would encourage you to drop from your mind and into your heart and into your intuition and listen to what your intuition, that inner knowing, is telling you. It's your GPS to helping you navigate this life. And listen to that part of you, because I truly believed at the time when I wanted to walk away and I wanted to quit this journey, it was because I was angry and resentful and extremely upset at him. But there was this little voice that knowing that leaving this journey wasn't my path, and that I needed to sit with my anger and resentment that I had towards him, because it wasn't truly about him. And what I realized is it was about me. But I thought about it for a moment, and I thought, if I walked away from this journey, I'm walking away from myself. Think about that for a moment. If you walk away from this journey and you walk away from your beloved, you are walking away from you. And how many of you have spent your whole entire life doing that? We reject ourselves, we abandon ourselves, we walked away from ourselves time and time again. And there comes a point in your journey where you start to choose you. And first and foremost, that begins by choosing you, like you who is listening to this in this physical body. Putting your needs first, choosing you over other people, other things. And yeah, that at times is also choosing you over your beloved, making you the priority, not your beloved. But also too, there comes a point in time where you need to choose this journey. Because many of you are waffling and trying to figure out if you want to go the soulmate route or if you want to stay with this journey. And when you're waffling, of course, the universe is going to give you what it is that you desire. But if you are thinking about walking away, then most likely too, you're not committed to this journey. And that's reflected to you within your divine counterpart. And I can hear many of you now saying, but Melissa, but, anytime there is a but in a sentence, when you want to come and defend yourself, it's because you're coming from the ego. And I know many of you want to say, but he's in a karmic connection. He's not doing his work. He's in this dynamic and he's not choosing this journey. And let's start to dive into some of these. Let's start first with him not doing his work. How many of you right now are saying, but my divine masculine isn't doing his work? Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you were guilty of this, because I surely was. I thought to myself, he's not doing his work. He's not, awakening. So I tried to force him to awaken. And then I received a message that it's not my job, that he will awaken when he is truly ready. And if you think about him not doing his work, what is his work? When the divine feminine is going through her inner journey, where she's doing a lot of inner healing, his work is to be connected to the 3D reality. He's connected to the matrix and living his life from that place, because by living his life from that state, it's bringing up a whole host of things for you to heal. Like heal in regard of expectations, control, so much more, right? And what he's doing in the 3D reality is helping you heal all those parts of you that you don't want to see, that you don't want to accept, and that you're trying to stay hidden, right? And so think about that for a moment. Where is it that he's trying to lead you to right now? Whether you are in communication or not, intuitively, you most likely know things about his journey, right? Because he may communicate with you through dreams, telepathically, or you just have this knowing, right? Utilize that to help you navigate your internal world. And I know a lot of you are angry and upset, right? Because he's in a karmic connection. He's living life with somebody else, right? It brings up like he's not choosing me. He's having fun without me. He's living life without me. A whole host of things, right? Well, let's talk about him not choosing you, right? Like he's choosing another partner. if he is you in another body, what is that mirroring back to you? What is this showing you about yourself? When I started doing this and really utilizing my divine masculine as a mirror, by him not choosing me, I realized I wasn't choosing myself. I wasn't choosing myself. I wasn't putting myself first. I also realized that by him choosing somebody else, that there was actually a part of me that wasn't fully 100% committed to choosing this journey. Because it hasn't been easy, right? But that's because we're not in alignment with our truth. And that anger that you have because he's not doing his work, where are you not doing your inner work? That anger could be coming from you not having a healthy boundary with yourself or a healthy boundary with your beloved. And boundaries are a whole another topic that I want to talk about. But maybe that anger is stemming from the fact that he's doing something that you have actually done yourself, but you're afraid to admit that. And that anger is coming up because you're judging him, but that judgment is really about you. So think about those things for a moment. Maybe you're resentful towards him because he's off living his best life, right? Like he's off traveling with the karmic, or he's created this very great life that you know about or see, or perhaps he's really abundant, right? And you're resentful because that's not you. Think about this for a moment, Divine Feminines. Where are you not creating a life that you desire? Living a life full of abundance by stepping into your purpose and your mission in this life, by sharing your gifts with the world. Where is it that you're not fully invested in creating the life that you desire because you're holding back because of fear of a judgment or fear that you're going to, lose your divine masculine? And where is it that you need to begin to truly enjoy life, to do all the things that you want to do, like travel, take yourself out to dinner, create this beautiful life for yourself? But so many of you are waiting for your divine masculine to arrive back into your reality before you start doing those things. Guess what? If you're waiting to start living your life and to start creating your own abundance until he comes back, guess what? You're going to keep waiting and he is not going to be coming back. So where is it that you can begin to loosen your grip of control over this dynamic? Where can you start seeing your beloved and you as a team? You're navigating this journey together. And he's doing his part that you asked him to do, but yet you're shaming him, you're blaming him, you're judging him, and you're angry at him. All of those emotions that you have towards him are actually things you need to dive into and learn about yourself. And I want to take you through an exercise by giving you an example. And this is an example that I see a lot of times and I experience myself, and I've already mentioned it, is a lot of us get really angry at our divine masculine because they choose a karmic connection over us, right? And many of us know and understand at the logical level that he needs to go through this part of his journey because he has karma carried over from previous lifetimes with this person, right? And he needs to be able to clear this karma. But what a lot of us don't realize, and it took me many times to learn this, is that the karmic connection was also for me to heal these parts of myself. And so I want you to take a moment and think about, especially if you are in a karmic connection and your beloved has chosen this person, what feelings come up for you, right? You probably feel hurt, you feel rejected, you feel betrayed, abandoned, you feel not good enough, right? Like all of these things. And I want you to take a moment and write all this stuff down, because these are things that you're needing to dive into. Healing the part of you that feels not good enough. Healing the part of you that feels rejected. And what parts of you in terms of rejection need to be healed from the past where you've been rejected over and over again. Maybe it was going back to the very first time you were rejected by somebody that you cared about, somebody that you were interested in. Everything that he is doing has a purpose. And that anger that we have towards them, I learned that within myself that anger was about me, because I had done the same thing, and that he was just triggering a part of me. And I remember one time he had said something to me, this was many years ago, that really made me upset. And this was a pivotal moment in my journey where I was really upset, and I thought to myself, I don't know who this man is, because he's never done this before, he's never said this before, and I don't understand why he believes this now, or why he is saying this. And it was festering inside of me, like I wanted to lash out at him, and I wanted to pick a fight. There were many times I picked up my phone and I wanted to send a message or a voice note and really start fighting with him. But there was this part of me that said no, that I needed to sit with that anger, to honor that anger, because everything that we are feeling on this journey is valid. But beyond that validity is a reason why we're feeling that. And the only way you can truly understand where that emotion is coming from is by sitting with it. And I want to take you through an exercise that I do with myself quite often, and I do with my clients as well. And I want you to think about an emotion that you've had recently that's connected to your twin flame journey. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it was rejection. Whatever it may be. I want you to feel that feeling. I want you to place first your left hand on your heart and begin to soften your eyes and connect to the heart. We have to remember that our body never lies. It keeps score of everything that has happened to us, because we store these in our muscles, our tissues, our organs, our cells, and even in our DNA. And our mind wants to protect us, so it doesn't want to have access to these things, but our body wants to be free of them. And I want you to bring up that emotion again that you have felt in relationship to your beloved. And I want you to feel that. And start to allow it to just rise and to be there. And when it's fully there, let it be there and see it for what it is. Accept this part of you that is angry, or whatever it is that you decided that you wanted to feel. I'm going to use the example of anger. And allow it to be there. Shine some light and some love onto this anger. Give gratitude to this part of you that's willing to come up. And ask this anger, what is it here to teach you? What is it here to show you about you? And if you need to, go ahead and pause this episode and sit with that part of you for as long as you need. Sometimes this comes to me right away, and other times it takes me a while to navigate through this. It just depends. There is no right or wrong way to navigate through this, but I will let you know that every time I walked away before I was finished healing or seeing this part of me, it came back in a fiercer way, meaning I was more angry than ever, and the experience that I had to go through to release that was even more difficult than the original. But for those of you that are ready to move on, I want you to think about what it was that anger revealed to you. And in my case, for this situation that I'm sharing with you, when I was so angry at him for something that he had said that didn't really make sense to me, because I'm like, that's not his belief. That's not my belief. And I know because I've had conversations with him about that. But what I realized was what he was saying was because at one point in time in my life, when I was 19 years old, I did the exact same thing. The exact same thing. And through awareness and sitting with myself, I was able to access that part of me and to accept that part of me and to heal that part of me that had done that same thing, and to clear the generational stuff that came along with that situation. And guess what? Once I healed that part of me, it never came up again, because I didn't need to be triggered. I didn't need to heal that part because it was already gone. And same thing with abandonment. Like, I struggled with abandonment over and over again in my life. And part of it was ancestral. Some of it was things that I experienced in this life as a child. And for those of you that have abandonment issues, anytime you feel like your divine masculine is abandoning you, it brings it back up, right? But I will tell you, once you heal this abandonment within you, you will never feel abandoned again by your beloved. And so I want you to go through, I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to go through all of this stuff that's coming up for you. What negative, low vibrational energies are you attached to in this journey? I want you to write them all down. What fears are coming up in regards to this journey? Write all those down and begin to sit with these parts of you. And if you have a really long list, ask your higher self to guide you to what is the most important thing that you need to sit with in regards to that list. Because most likely that one thing might clear and help you heal other aspects. And I know some of you are like, yeah, but I just want to do this thing because I know it's going to be easy and it's going to be fast. But here's what I've learned is when you're trying to put out these little things, you're going to get caught up in feeling like your healing journey is taking you forever. And instead, identify what is the one thing that if you were to see this part of you, you would accept this and heal, that so many parts of you would be transformed. And if you're struggling with that, I'm here for you. I encourage you to find a coach or a healer that you can work with, whether that's me or someone else, to help you see those blind spots. Because even myself, I have to work with somebody every once in a while because there's just parts of me that I either can't access or don't want to access for whatever reason, right? And plus we get to have somebody hold space for us as we're navigating through this, and we feel really supported in a way that is very expansive. And I share with you some of this stuff because I want you to know that you're not alone. That if you are going through something, most likely there's thousands of others going through the same thing. And if you're wanting to be part of a community where you can feel supported, seen, heard, and navigate through your twin flame journey in a more aligned way and connect to other divine feminines, then I encourage you to join Circle. Circle is really about helping you navigate this journey in a more loving and compassionate way for yourself. And through it, you'll receive energy healing, there's live group coaching, and really so much more. But recently I discovered that God put Circle on my heart because when a group of people come together and they transform, what happens is it amplifies the energy within each individual, and that collective energy then shifts the collective energy within the twin flame community. So others can journey this journey in a more loving way, and we don't have to go through the struggles and the hurdles that we've had to gone through, especially for those of you that have been on this journey for 5 years or more. I don't believe that it should be that long, and I truly believe that Circle is going to help create this shift in the twin flame community that we're really desiring, and that's really trying to come through. And so I would love to hear from you. What is it that you're struggling with? Perhaps you did the homework and sat with those emotions to see what it is that your divine masculine is trying to teach you, and you're still struggling. Drop it in the comments below. Let those who hear this episode also support you and guide you in this journey, because I don't have all the answers. And I know some of you have just as much powerful wisdom within you. And that's the beauty about the collective energy. And when you come together as a group, is to support and to unite one another, because we're all here for a greater purpose. And we all know what it's like to be on this journey, because it can be lonely at times and it has its challenges, and no one around us seems to understand, right? And so I'm going to leave you with this. I feel really whole and complete as I share this with you. And just remember that the anger, the frustration, and the resentment, and whatever lower energies that you have that you're feeling are valid, and they're here to teach you. But I want to leave you with one more thing. I was just reminded by my guides about this. When we hang on to the lower energies like anger, shame, blame, resentment, frustration, fear, these lower vibrational energies and emotions, when we don't address them, attract lower vibrational energies, and it begins to amplify what it is that you're feeling. So think about that for a moment. The amplification that you might be feeling about these emotions may not be just yours. They might be because there is some lower vibrational energy attached to it. So it's really important as well that you do a daily energy clearing and grounding practice. And if you're needing one, then comment down below the word gifts, and I'll drop the link to receiving a free daily energy healing and clearing that will really help you begin to transform your reality, so you can see things for what they are and begin to respond to your journey versus react. And my friends, I'm sending you all so much love and light. And don't forget to check the description box for some really incredible upcoming things for the Divine Feminines on the Twin Flame journey. And thank you for sharing this time with me. I'm so honored to be on this journey with you and helping you navigate this in a more loving and beautiful way for you and your beloved. And I'm sending you all so much love and light, and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Until next time.